Hello, Eric.
Okay, if you all are ready, we have a quorum.
I'm just getting something off the printer.
Mr. Chairman, it's 11:02. We're recording on YouTube on our EDC channel, and we're also recording the meeting. So maybe you're ready to call it to order.
Great. Let's call the meeting to order. Notice is properly given, and we do have a quorum. So notice is given that the above Board of Directors will hold a regular meeting on Tuesday, April 27, 11 a.m., University Center, 2424 Boxwood, room 125, Harlingen, Texas. Meeting will be held in accordance with the Texas Government Code, Section 551.127, is modified by order of Governor Greg Abbott. One of the more of the members of the Board of Directors may attend and participate in the meeting via video conference. The public may view the meeting on YouTube via the link at www.channel./UCEU4BBVRV as posted. To provide public comments, members of the public may fill out a public comment form available at the HED website. Public comments will be read during the public comment portion of the meeting. All forms must be completed no later than 10 a.m. April 27, 2021. Development Corps Harlingen, Inc., hereinafter HEDC, reserves the right to meet in executive session on any agenda item should the need arise, and if applicable, pursuant to authorization by Title 5, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. HEDC meetings are available to all persons, regardless of disability. If you require special assistance, please contact the HEDC office 956-216-5081 or email it at info@harlingenedc.com at least 24 hours in advance of the meeting. Well, let's call the meeting to order. And shall we do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, sir.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the
republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all. Yeah. Any recognitions?
None, and we have no public comments either. So
Great.
move on to consider the consent agenda, which is the board minutes for March 30th, 2021, and the financial report for ending March 30th, 2021.
Great.
Move to approve. This is Mickey.
Thank you, Mickey.
Second.
Thank you, Ricky. Motion's been made and approved that we approve the board minutes. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Item B.
Actually, that was A and B. Item 2 is discussion of possible action on a commitment of $50,000 per year for 3 years to support a grant application by the UTRGV for a joint initiative between NASA and the National Science Foundation for internships and fellowships locally. So just a brief explanation, and there was some background in your packet. The College of Engineering, the dean called me a couple of weeks ago and was talking about trying to increase Hispanic participation in STEM careers, specifically in aerospace. And so he and I and a couple of other people are talking about trying to get United Launch Alliance and some of the other aerospace companies here locally involved by providing internships and even fellowships. NASA and the National Science Foundation have some monies available up to $400,000 for a program that UTRGV is wanting to apply for. And basically they would like for us to strengthen that application by joining in with them and helping them in basically developing our workforce, specifically aerospace engineers and other engineers, other students that are in the STEM field. And that specifically is for internships and fellowships here locally, if we can develop them. This is just a grant application, so it doesn't mean that we are totally committed at this point, because if they don't get the funding from NASA, then we don't have to put anything in. But our commitment, based on our conversations to develop this workforce, would be for $50,000 a year for 3 years.
And maybe I missed it, Rodell, but this is something that's going to benefit Harlingen students and applicants, not just UTRGV students across the valley.
Well, it would be for UTRGV students, but the internships would be in Cameron County. So we're trying to develop internships and fellowships with SpaceX and with United Launch Alliance. Those are the two big aerospace companies in the valley. So that's really what our efforts would be. Is it likely that other students across the valley can apply? Yes, but what we have talked about is preference to Harlingen students first.
Yeah, I guess, Rodell, we can wait and see if we were to support this today, it's not a done deal. As I understand this, they would have to win the grant. And then is there going to be a point at which this comes back around so we can define what preference for Harlingen kids means?
You know, UTRGV is not wanting to do that, but I think that we can work on something like that to a certain degree.
I'm okay with this, whether it's Harlingen kids or not. I just feel as though this is something big enough in the valley and advanced enough that we should support it. You know, I don't want to limit ourselves to cut and sew jobs. I really like the idea of creating higher tech jobs in the higher tech industries that we have here.
We have to remember that the location for these internships would be within Cameron County, because that's where the companies are. And so is it likely that somebody from McAllen or Edinburgh or FAR would want to apply? Maybe. But would they want to be driving back and forth for an internship that doesn't really pay a whole lot of money? I don't know. The preference is gonna end up being those guys that are here locally, just by being closer to the facilities.
So you're saying it all depends on this and that. I mean, so if we approve this, are we on the hook? Because it's asking for a commitment.
We're on the hook if they get the grant from NASA.
Yeah. I mean, if we do this, you say you'll come back to us, but there's nothing to come back to us about except for defining the program terms and so forth, but we're on the hook.
Yeah, I didn't say we'd come back. Somebody else mentioned that.
Okay.
What I'm working on is trying to develop a workforce for aerospace. I'm not even sure that we can actually develop those internships, because that's part of the issue. Is right now, for example, United Launch Alliance has internships, but they're in Colorado, and that's not what we're going to be sending people. We're not going to be sending people up there. We're trying to develop internships and fellowships here locally in Harlingen, and if possible, at Boca Chica Beach. So it benefits Cameron County.
I think it's a great thing. One thing I told Rodell, it would be nice if we could earmark it for Harlingen kids, but the concept of UTRGV is regional. And so it's going to be very difficult, I think, in the long run to try to just limit it to that. But I agree with Raudell in that those jobs are going to be coming to Cameron County ultimately. So I think I'm personally in support of it. I think it's a wonderful thing.
$50,000 a year to show our buy-in, having local buy-in to this, I think is important.
How was the 50,000 number arrived at?
Each of the internships is worth $5,000 and the fellowships are worth $12,000. So 2 fellowships and five internships is almost 50,000. We just rounded it up.
So who else, what are other organizations like us are doing something similar? Do we know?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was my question, Mickey, is are we the loan provider or is others participating? And then are we married to a 3-year commitment or could we just go perhaps year to year? Who suggested
The proposal that UTRGV wants to submit or has submitted is really a 3-year proposal for them. If you all want to do 1 year, then we can do a 1 year. But my recommendation is to do a 3-year deal.
Look, I don't disagree that it's a worthy cause. These are the types of jobs that we want, particularly in our area. They have to be there before a Harlingen kid can even apply. And I think that UTRGV is an important enough partner with our EDC. But I do see the language that there would be a preference for Harlingen kids, and I would support this and give them the 3-year rope to show us that meant something. And at the end of the 3 years, we'll see how they handled that for future deals.
So is that a motion?
So, Chairman, are you comfortable with that discussion, or is there anything else? I'm
No,
ready to make a
absolutely.
motion.
I'd like to see a motion to approve this.
Okay. And so I'll make the motion that we approve this item, approve the support as stated in the summary, executive summary, for $50,000 a year for at least 2 fellowships and up to 5 internships per year for 3 years. And that UTRGV place a preference to allocate those internships and fellowships to Harlingen engineering students first.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor? Say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 3, executive session. Pursuant to chapter, excuse me. Rodell, could you read that? My throat's not.
Sure. Executive session pursuant to Chapter 551, Subchapter D, VTCA, Government Code Section 551.072 regarding the purchase, lease, and value of real estate if the deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the Development Corporation of Harlingen, Inc. in negotiations with a third person regarding some of the following projects, and or contemplated or pending litigation or matters where legal advice is requested of the attorney on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the board under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Act, Section 551.071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, and or executive session pursuant to Chapter 551, Subchapter D, VTCA, Government Code Section 551.087 regarding commercial and financial information from business prospects with which the board is conducting economic development negotiations, and or to discuss or deliberate financial or other incentives relating to the following projects. A, retail coach presentation and discussion on various retail prospects. B, Project Tyler. C, Project Breeze. D, Project Celebration Town. E, Project Organic, F, Project Hops, G, Project Candyman, and H, discussion on health loans.
Will we go into executive session?
Second. You're on mute.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye.
aye. Aye. In executive session. Let us know when we're